Okay, good. Okay. Well, I have a big one back here, but I didn't write anything on it.
Somebody forgot the memo. Why do we forget the memo? Our talent doesn't know what to do.
I came on late, Brian. I came on late. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Everyone, welcome to Friday TGIF. We are super excited. It is Friday, just in case you don't realize the date. There might be some disorientation because of it, but it is Friday. We are super excited that you're here because it is Friday, and that means improv. And that is obviously what we're doing. We are improving, and I will leave it at that. We are totally improving.
Oh, yeah.
With that said, I want to do a shameless plug to my super awesome Ron Pruett friend here that I love, that he is a co-owner of a direct marketing amazing company that we will leave nameless at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But what we will say is that you really know when you have true friends when you call them and you ask them if they can be there. And that's a true friend. And I can't be more humbled and more excited and happy to have you here, Brian. Brian, why did I say Brian? Because I'm looking at Brian. Okay, so Ron, go ahead and selfishly plug yourself here.
Oh, look, been involved in the industry for 29 years of my 59-year life. I'll be 60 in 3 months. But there was a lot of things out there. I mean, I've built big organizations, 20, 30, 50,000 people, but I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to kind of just test the waters and get out on the edge. So we came up with a digital product that does quite a few things. But the biggest thing it does is we literally show you how to build your list with 100% accurate cell phone numbers. And here's what we don't do. We don't ask you for a name. We don't ask you for an email. We don't ask you for your phone number. We don't ask you for it, but we get it. So think about that one just for a minute.
Thank you for the teaser, because yes, I am involved with him. I ain't gonna lie. Shameless plug for myself. Don't talk to Ron because he's gonna send you back to me. But nonetheless, we're super excited that you're here, Ron, because I just love you. I've known you for a couple of years now, and you know, just like Brian, some people you meet and you just connect on that higher level, and you just know that you're family. I mean, and you are that to me, and you showed it today. So thank you again. I'm going to let Brian explain what we do here, because I told him really quick, what do you want me to do, Lynn? I'm going to show up, but what do you want me to do? And like I said, an owner of a direct marketing company taking time for me, goes, Lynn, I'll be there for you. So we are honored.
You know, you go through life, Lynn, you go through life, and you probably have as many friends that you can count on two hands. I mean, real true friends, right? And you happen to be one of those people on my two hands. Yeah.
So, I love you. I love you.
I can't even count that high, Ron. Come on now.
1, 2, 3.
Use your board.
How many is this?
Use your board. Erase the board and use the board.
Am I gonna put my handprint on it? Is that what you want me to do? Like that? Is that what you want?
I'm in the digital space. I use calculators now. I forget how to count.
What's a calculator? Oh yeah. So thanks to all of our loyal followers. I saw that. I saw that Larry from KC's with us. Ray's here. Helen's here. Tracy's here. While they just keep coming. Scott's here. Yeah, Larry again. Yeah, thank you all for being here. Where we recap all of our week. Too much coffee this morning, apparently. We recap the week of our discussion, and this was the week of Pay the Price. So in this very little bag right here, I have all of the different words and little Lynnisms and phrases that we're gonna go around, and we're gonna just say whatever's top of mind. The more funnier, the better, and it's all for embarrassing purposes. So yeah. But it all pertains to words or phrases that we talked about this week over the past 4 days, Monday through Thursday. So thank you, Ron, for stepping up the plate. And as long as you leave having fun and work those face muscles, you know, with laughter, we know that we succeeded.
That's what I want to do. It's Crazy Friday, so let's get crazy.
Excellent. Excellent. And there's some reoccurring ones in here that are Lynnisms. And I will point those out as we go along, but there's ones that are so good that we just have to bring up every week. So Yeah.
For some reason, I don't think Ron's going to be too surprised because he's heard how crazy I can talk sometimes.
Okay, so let's go to one of those right now, shall we? Okay.
Wait, look at what Tracy said. Today's show is going to be a humdinger.
Yeah, Tracy, I'm glad you brought that up, and thank you for sharing because that is one of the words for today.
Humdinger is one of the words.
That's too good to pass up right there. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what you're thinking about in that particular moment, you could go any which direction. So, okay, so let our guest Ron go first here. So the expression is foot to mouth. Foot to mouth. What say you?
Foot to mouth. Well, it kind of reminds me of a cow disease, kind of, but other than that, I'm okay. Foot to mouth. I mean, the first thing that pops in my mind on foot to mouth is you pretty much embarrassed yourself to a certain extent. You know, you put yourself out there and you pretty much caught yourself and that thing hits you in the head and goes, what did I just do? What did I just do? Foot to mouth. I've stuck my foot in my mouth. I want you to imagine that image in your mind's eye for 1 second. Somebody sticking their foot in their mouth. You know,
cow disease.
Exactly. I'd like to know exactly whoever come up with this phrase called "foot to mouth." It has to be something from Texas. It has to be.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because I told him to put the foot to mouth down because actually one of his friends was watching us and she was getting a pedicure. Yep. So I came out and said, "Hey, put foot to mouth," because obviously, and the thing was we were like, is the person that's doing your toes, can they hear? Because I could subliminally tell them, hey, put your foot in their mouth, you know? So that's kind of how we came up.
Now, there's another angle on foot to mouth. You could actually use it to silence somebody.
As a matter of fact, I have to make sure that she's on the show. So, yeah, we'll see if she's how her actual pedicure actually went, you know, because she's the whole gist of that whole phrase right there.
Hey, we're supposed to have Larry next Friday.
Yeah, Larry's up to the plate.
Yeah. Welcome.
And the beautiful part is we usually don't figure out next week's show until Sunday night. So there we go.
That's the good thing.
Yeah. Why would we want to do this a week ahead?
Yeah, just keep it on the cuff, Brian. There's another one on the cuff. There's one for you.
Oh yeah.
Hey, he gave us a word for next week.
Off the
cuff. Yep.
All right, so I got it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, Lynn, you're up next.
No, I just did. I explained the whole foot to mouth. You're up next.
Nah, Lynn, you're up next.
I got you both ganging up on me. No, foot to mouth is basically being as transparent as you can be. And, you know, we're all human having a human experience. And sometimes, you know, you just got to be heard and defend yourself or whatever you feel, you know. I mean, foot to mouth may seem like that, but again, it's a matter of perception. It's a matter of where you're standing and how you're looking at things, that it can be misconstrued. A lot in life can be misconstrued, and it's a matter of articulating with people. That's why I'm learning NLP, because I'm pretty much going to learn to communicate with people at their level.
There you go. And
you know,
the thing about foot to mouth, you said where you're standing. Well, if you've got foot to mouth and you're standing on one leg. So think about that one.
Okay, Brian, stop thinking.
No, I'm not thinking. I'm balancing on one foot. Okay, so foot to mouth to me. Well, I'll say that 10 times fast. It's a new form of shoe delivery.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of like a restaurant that's farm to table, it's foot to mouth. And I don't know if you're putting shoes in your mouth for a pleasure or whatever, but yeah, a new form of shoe delivery.
And Larry says,
sometimes I need to put foot in mouth.
What's on my mind?
That's right.
That's good, Larry. That's good, Larry.
I'm thinking of a restaurant with shoes involved.
I think he's warming up for next week for us, Brian.
Oh yeah.
It sounds like he doesn't need to go far. He's already there.
No, he's like, I got this. This. Okay, Lynn, I'm going to let you take this.
Look what Ray said.
Indiscreet brown unmarked. Oh, Jesus.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Indiscreet.
You know, I guys before, but never mind.
Lynn, are you trying to infer like adult conversations here?
I think this just turned PG ready.
Look at her now. She's like, it's getting warm in here.
If you have any
fired up
children
and ready, bring it
on,
on.
make sure they're 17 or older.
I've never seen Lynn do this before. This is a new one.
Brian, I bring out the best in people. That's all I can say.
I love it. I love it. Awesome, Larry. Let's keep that going all today and throughout the weekend and then into next week. So, all right, Lynn, you're probably going to be breathing a little heavy after this one because this is another one of your Lynn-isms. And look at that, Ron, right there. When she covers her eyes, we know we're up to good stuff. So
yeah.
Okay, so hormones.
Hormones. It's when you got hair and you may not have the hormones, but you're still growing hair. So that became hormones. And I actually, Ron, just so you know, I got that when talking to Tracy Seeley. And when she said hi, and I said that off video, and I said to her, I said, oh my gosh, I'm doing a Lynnism with you instead of Brian. And we were talking on the show, and I said, Brian, I said something to Tracy, I don't remember. She remembered, so it was hormones.
Hormones.
All right, Ron.
All right, Ron. What do you think of
I don't
hormones?
qualify for that conversation.
Oh my goodness, Rob.
That's my summer cut.
My summer cut.
Oh man.
Hormones. What can I say about hormones?
You wish you had some?
Hormones.
You wish you had some?
Yeah, there you go. Give me some hormones. I have the hormones, but I need now the hormones.
That's outstanding. I got the hormones, but I just need the hormones. Come on.
Michelle's here. I want to acknowledge. We just talked about foot and mouth in your honor.
Yeah, and we want to report on how your feet look or how they serviced you at when you were joining us. You're welcome. Yeah.
Did they do a good job?
Yes. What did he say? It's when the foot to mouth is so good your hair.
Yeah. So hormones.
Wow. Well done, Ray. Well done. Well done. Oh, and he's firing it all cylinders.
Yeah, somebody's got their foot in your mouth and pulling your hair, and now your hair moans.
So, hormones to me is like when you just have there's nothing in your hair, but you feel as if there is. So all you do is like scratch, and that's what.
That's called dandruff. No.
Dandruff. Michelle says, "Oh, they're beautiful." She actually wanted to listen to you guys as well. That's all.
Oh, really? Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't make that. I'm glad I didn't make the subliminal. Hey, kick her in the mouth if she looks at you.
Oh no!
Because she's like, I'm trying to be quiet because I'm getting my feet done, and I'm listening to you and trying to be quiet. So, hey, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy. Oh my gosh. That's
okay. So I'll go first here, and then we'll go to Ron and then Lynn. So power hours of work. Ooh. To me, power hours of work are those uninterrupted times throughout the day that you have to carve out yourself. You have to be malicious about keeping them or relentless about keeping them, and you have to allow nothing to get in your way. Yep. So that those precious hours of the day that you do your best work in, that's a no-fly zone. Mm-hmm. Nobody comes close to invading that with no matter what it is, unless there's a terrible accident or somebody that is in the hospital or worse. So power hours of work are those spaces where whenever you do your best work throughout the week or the day, nothing gets in your way.
That power hour for me is what I call IPA. I mean, the power hour for me is IPA. That's when I set myself down. You're exactly right, Brian. I am not interrupted by anything around me. That's where I have that racing horse vision. You got those blinders on the side, and you're focused on what you need to get done. And it's like a timer. You set it for 1 hour. And that power hour for me is IPA. Your one on IPA is it's income producing activity. That's what that is. And I'm going to focus for 1 hour on doing everything in that power hour that does what? Is an income producing activity. Which is not looking at your back office to see who is there, which is not looking at Facebook, it's not looking at your emails, it's doing what you need to do to expand your business your brand, your whatever it is you're doing. That's the power hour for me.
And I'm gonna say, you know, being that it was the week of to pay the price for what you want in life, you need those hour powers. You need those hour powers, but you need to do them right when your desired moments that you truly like. You know, I like to do graphics and creative, you know, and for my shows, and it usually comes in the morning, but at night I'm like, I don't got the shit done. So it's like, but the thing is I've got to realize that if I'm up in the middle of the night and that's my creative time, that's going to come. Don't be worrying about it when I'm trying to rest. So you got to really figure out, you know, what are your productive hours that you'll be focused on that. You know, you can't make a list and say, I'm going to go down this way if that's not how you like to do the list. So the power hour truly needs to be where it follows your rhythm and your cadence to what you want to achieve.
And when you have 10,000 of those, the 10,000 hour rule, you're an expert in whatever you choose to do.
Okay. I know that Ray says it's turning off all power instruments and refocus on yourself with no distractions. Power hour. Absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah.
Rest when you're dead. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. On. Our next word is Ziploc. Ziploc.
I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
You said zip.
No, zip.
Wait.
Ziplock. Ziploc.
Oh, Ziploc.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. I'm 60. It takes me back to the 70s, but we won't go there. We won't go to the 70s with Ziploc. Never mind. So, you know, it's I don't know. Ziploc. What pops in my mind?
Well, Ron.
Yeah.
Ron, think of the fact that our week was all about
pay the price.
Yep. Pay the price.
Pay the price.
Pay the price.
I mean, what am I paying when I hear Ziploc? Somebody says,
for what you want in life.
For me, here's what I think of when I hear the word Ziploc, pay the price. Here's what pops in my mind.
Okay.
Almost, for lack of a better term, a lockdown for yourself. Ziploc.
I love that.
Put yourself in a position where you're locking yourself down and you're taking there's no no's in your life. You're not accepting them. You're all about the yeses. You're all about growth. You're all about inspiration. You're all about dedication. You're all about these things. And that's Ziploc for me. You're locked. You have Ziplocked yourself into this imagination, into this figment in your mind where it becomes real. But it doesn't work unless you lock yourself in there and stay there. That's my idea of Ziploc.
I love it.
So I'll go next. I look at it as if like you use the actual bag as everything you can possibly get done in one day. You're going to work tooth and nail to get as much done as you possibly can to fill up this bag to the point where you actually seal it. You're content with what you're able to complete in that day. That's Ziploc to me for paying the price. Is that paying the price is everything that you're going to remove from your world to have everything that you want in your world. And then whenever you put your head pillow or whenever you turn on the TV or however you decompress before the day is over, when you zip that, you're perfectly content with everything that was in that bag.
Yeah.
All right, Lynn, what's for you?
And as far as Ziploc to encompass what you guys said, basically Ziploc, if you have enough love and center of knowing that you treat everyone the same, regardless of what, it doesn't matter. Everything's excuses in this world, except for paying for taxes and death. So when you say that at the end of the day, whatever situation, it's just let it go because everything else doesn't matter. You can put all that junk in a Ziploc, get rid of it, get another bag, and start over the next day. That's Ziploc to me. And we got some comments here.
Yeah. What do we got? I paid for the Ziploc. It was lightweight. You guys are having too much fun while I'm working. Sandy, when you join us on the show in a couple weeks, you'll be having just as much fun as us. So get ready. Yeah, Ziploc means zip it and lock into listening. Yes. Well said,
Thank you, Ray.
Okay, here's another Lynnism, because when I say a Lynnism, either it's on a certain colored piece of paper or it's in parentheses. Okay, so that's how I know. Okay, so Ron, strip out. Strip out.
Oh. That's a simple one for me.
Okay.
All the negativity you have in your life, anyone around you that's giving this dot, pop, 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 don't do it, don't do it, don't. Bye-bye. See you later. You're out. You're out. I mean, I don't want you around me, because normally the people that's telling you that you can't do something are the ones that couldn't do it anyway. And they're the ones that tried it and failed and whatever. So they're going to tell you that you can't do it. And those kind of people, it's just a negative anchor on my life. They just are. I mean, we can be friends, but let's don't talk about anything that I'm doing, because you don't feed me the right information and you don't confirm my affirmation of how I'm supposed to feel. So when I don't get that from you, you're out. You're locked out. That's it. You know, we'll talk about other things.
Yeah. For me, I might banter on what's going on at the moment, but I strip it out as fast as it comes. I process it. And then say, you know what? I'm going to vent. And I've got a few friends I can vent. Mm-hmm. And then once I vent, I let it go. It's all about love. And, you know, it's life's so much easier, especially being 55. I wish I learned that a long time ago. So that's strip it out for me.
Strip up to me is where I look for the truth. I look for the integrity, and I remove all the noise. I remove all of the hearsay, all of the meaning, the excuses, and the blame. So strictly the facts, the truth, and either you're living in integrity by what you said you were going to do or you didn't. That's it. And it's not only from me what I'm taking a stand for out of my own mouth, but also anybody else that says anything to me and what they're holding themselves accountable to. So
and I like that, because I'm all about integrity. Now, mind you, I'm human and I'm not perfect all the time, but I do try to do my best. And the best compliment I got was last weekend from Glenn Morshower, which I was explaining that I'm finally losing. I said at first, I've lost 18 pounds, but 8 of it is new weight that I haven't lost. And I said, wait, no, I've lost 16 pounds. And he goes, do you know what you just did? And I go, no, I don't. And he said, Lynn, you have so much integrity that you are counting and correcting yourself even for 2 pounds. He goes, not too many people have that much integrity to correct themselves and to stay by their word. So I was honored by that. I want to take a minute to say hi to Christina. I love Christina. So, and I loved when Larry said, talk to the hand. He's going to be a riot too next week.
Oh, he's fired up. He's got to hold off for strip out all the things that are not helping me get closer to my stated goals.
Absolutely, Ray.
I love it. I love it.
Better. I couldn't have said it better. So you're right, Lynn. None of us are perfect. We're just not. We're not.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what we are. We are in control of our life.
That's right.
And we don't need anybody else to try to take control of our life.
Right.
One more thing along those lines is that if somebody is for whatever reason not able to uphold their integrity, just restore it, but be in communication about it, right? Yeah. If they say that they're going to do something by a certain period of time, instead of shrugging it off or thinking that the other person isn't going to think about it or whatever, if it doesn't matter, well, you're being a disservice to yourself and also of the other person, you know? So just to man up and say, hey, I ran out of time today. I'll get to it as soon as I can, or whatever the definitive time is.
Christina is an ontological coach. I hope I said that right. And she says, I see that as a clearing space for what needs to come in. Got to make room for the new. Absolutely. And Ray, you can be quiet.
I can't wait for Scott Lynn. Yeah. Well, that's really cool, Ray, that you said that, Ron, Brian, and Lynn. Yes. So this next one is going to take a little bit more like a Long Island type of accent, if you will. And look at Lynn right there; she's covering her face. So this one is not as risque as some of the other ones. So Lynn, the police officer.
Oh, did I say police officer like that?
Yeah,
did I really
officer.
Say the days when I was a police officer. Yeah, and I would tell people anything you can say will be held against you, and that's a philosophy I hold near and dear to the fact that if you are going to say something, stand to it and be, of that. And you don't care who hears it. You're going to say it the same way. And that's just the way you articulate. Oh, Scott's in the house now too. Ron has no idea what that means. Ron, I got to tell on myself before he says anything. Oh,
Well,
and then
either that or he can wait for it. He can wait for
Okay,
that
he
one
can
to
wait
show
for
up
it.
if he wants.
Okay.
Scott, thanks for being here. We got a couple words that you might like coming up here shortly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ron, but it'll all make sense
yeah,
in a few.
officer.
Officer.
Yeah, I was a peace officer. Yeah. Okay.
Lynn, how do you spell that? Okay, so I'll go next. Is that when I think of police officer, is I think of how you be around a police officer is how you'd be around anybody, right? It's kind of like the quotes of our past, where it's like how you do what you do behind the scenes. You know, it should be the same as what it is on the screen or when you're on stage, right? And so, why would you be two different people? If you wouldn't do it in front of a police officer, why would you do it with anybody else? You know? So, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it.
The police officer.
My take's pretty simple. What pops into my mind when you say police officer? What pops into my mind when you say that? I mean, it might not resonate with some people here. But when you talk about police officer, the first thing I think about is respect. You know?
That's awesome.
You need to give people respect. That's what police officers should have. They're doing a job that nobody else wants to do.
That's right.
Same. I might be doing something that nobody else wants to do. If I talk to somebody about where you want to go in your life and I want to help you get there in your life, and you tell me what you want to do, and we go down that road to do what you want to do, and all of a sudden you're not doing what you want to do anymore. Lynn, you said it. What you say can and will be used against you, and you can bet your bottom dollar I'll use it against you when you stop doing what you say you're going to do.
No shit.
No. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. I like to think.
I like to think we're always practicing something. So what are you practicing?
I'm practicing NLP right now, but I don't want that job. Yeah.
I don't want that job.
Oh,
okay.
man.
So the next one, I'll have Ron go because I need to think of something really good. Yellow Jeep. Yellow Jeep.
Lord. I think of a certain network marketing company that gives away Jeeps. I mean, that's where I go, you know. There's one out there that gives away Jeeps. That's where my head goes. But yellow Jeep, it sounds to me like you want to be outstanding, you want to be noticed, you want to be something different. That's what yellow means to me. You know, you want to be different than everybody else. You want to stand out. If you want something that's a Jeep, it's powerful. You want to stand out, you want to be powerful in what you do. That's what pops in my head.
And the yellow Jeep, for me, at first I was like, oh shit, he read my mind. What's going on here? But actually the analogy he's using and when that comes up is that I used the example that my daughter, she just got a yellow Renegade Jeep. And now she notices that there's a couple other Jeeps that are the same. And they're like, hey, how you doing? You know, and that kind of stuff. So it's once you realize something, how all of a sudden you're open and see it all around you, and how observant you are to that situation, you know, whether you're talking about digital this currency or you're talking about this or this, next thing it just becomes something that you see as a norm because you've opened your senses to it. So like anything, we should open our senses to more positive than negative, and the world would be a better place. I'm Lynn and I'm done.
I'm Lynn and I'm done.
So when I think of a yellow Jeep, I think that we're at an actual, like a school bus manufacturing facility.
Wait. Michelle says, if you can read this, flip me over.
Please flip me over.
The smiley face is upside down.
It was.
Whoa.
I love it. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So when I think of a yellow Jeep, okay, so just run with me on this one. We're actually at a school bus manufacturing facility, and they paint the wrong vehicle. They paint an actual employee's Jeep the color of the actual bus. Yellow Jeep.
The school bus, they paint the car the color of the school bus. Yeah,
exactly. And then all the workers are like, "What the heck? What do we do wrong here?"
Who is that?
That's another networker that I'm talking to at the same time talking to you guys.
Oh, there you go. Multitasking.
She's listening. She's listening as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Coachman's in the house.
Excellent, Charles.
We had him last week.
Yeah, oh man, we went down a rabbit hole of all sorts of stuff.
Oh my gosh. Can you believe though, walking out and saying, look, you made my car look like a cheese box.
A cheese box.
Imagine it's all decked out with like big 33-inch tires and a lift kit, and now he's got to go back to his buddies in the frickin' club and be like, you're not in the club anymore because your vehicle's yellow, right? Like,
I have that macaroni Mazda. I got it.
Macaroni Mazda. Okay, Lynn, our next phrase is things not said in life. Things not said in life.
Yes. Things that are not said in life comes to the fact that we let petty shit, we let people being humans, we go ahead and make the big mistake of holding those grudges, feeling that we're right, not making amends, and having those regrets later when you realize that, how are you going to feel when that person dies? Did that shit really matter? Did it really matter? I mean, the bottom line is that holding that stuff, things that are not said in life, is a truly regrettable thing to do while you still have a chance to talk to that person and make amends. That's what it means to me.
Okay. Ron, you want to go?
I do.
Okay.
Simple. Things not said in life. Enough niceties. There's not enough of those said. Enough truths. And not enough I love you said anymore.
Yep. And I tell you I love you every chance I get, Ron. Because I love you.
When I think of this phrase, the only thing that comes to mind is the things that you need to hear the most are the things you want to hear the least. Is that the coaching, the what's missing, your blind spot, and how you can see something that's out of your view. That makes all the difference in the world. But the only way that you're fully going to accept it is if you're open to it and you're vulnerable, because you can't officially get something if you're defensive for it to come in.
Yeah.
The only way that it's going to make any sense or help you is if you're vulnerable and you want to be guided. You're submitting that I don't know how to do this. Yeah. So, like any coaching or any development is like, I need to hear this coaching for me to get to the next level. And it's impossible for me to move to the next level until I hear this and then I implement and I do something with it.
Right. But you also got to realize that you're in a safe place to actually be vulnerable and
Absolutely.
to be maybe defensive or whatever you need to. But it says more about the person saying it. Yes. But maybe that person needs to be heard. Maybe Absolutely. They need that. And so if they have the safe space to vent, then they're done and over with. They can heal. But when people don't want to take a minute to listen to those people, that's why we have so much suicide. The toughest people never have nobody to listen to them. They're the ones that have the big ass shoulders that take everybody's else on, and nobody ever said, "Hey, Brian, how you doing today?"
And really mean it. Mean it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Instead of just going through the motions or what have you.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I see people that we don't say enough anymore, and I don't see people saying their true feeling and desire inside. Everybody thinks for some reason now they need to accommodate whatever politically correct speech, whatever it is we're talking about, and they're just not saying what's on the inside of them. And what I want everybody to know is this: it doesn't matter what you say, because whether you like it or not, you're trying to adjust what you want by making sure you have niceties and you're not really saying what you want. People are going to talk about you. If it's good or bad, it doesn't matter. Exactly. People are going to like it. If they don't like it, they're going to like it. It's just going to happen. So why would you ever retend yourself where you just can't say what's on your mind?
You know what, Ron? It's a good point. Like if I'm upset with the company, my phone company or whatever, the person that answers the phone, I say this right away. I say, "Hi, I'm going to apologize beforehand because I'm really upset. It's not your fault. But right now I need to vent and tell you I'm really upset that this happened to me." And then they're like, "Oh, well, they're empathetic, but I feel better because they let me vent." but I let them know that it had nothing to do with them. This is how I feel. And I've thanked them up and down for allowing me, because I always know, even when there's a problem, good companies will make it up to you anyways.
Yeah.
But they can't make it up to you if you don't help them in service to tell them what's wrong so that they can be of service to other people.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't fix what you don't talk about. And you can't fix if you, so, I just love that. Okay, I'm done.
You give them that big warning, incoming, it's coming.
But you know what? That's just it. Most of the people that know me know my heart is pure love. I may get sassy, I may get Latino on you or whatever, but it comes from a place of love. And I've just learned that there's only certain people that have big shoulders like that. And Ron, you're one of them in my life. And Brian, you're another one of that in my life.
Thank you.
And the rest of the people may not understand that, but I don't come from a rotten place. I always come from a good heart. And so that's a difference between most people. But make sure that you're around people that it's safe to speak your mind. That's like one lesson I've been learning a lot lately. And I think it's a great lesson to learn. So,
well, and just look at tribes of people is that the conformity. I don't believe in conformity, where it's like, okay, if somebody laughs, everybody laughs. Even, if somebody has a point of view, but you don't necessarily agree with it, but you need to comply, otherwise you're going to be the outcast. Well, it's just like, well, okay. But no, I'm going to be who I'm going to be. And if you don't like it, that's okay.
God,
but,
don't you just love Brian? Don't you just love him?
You're a guy after my heart, Brian, because conformity, it's like a negative and positive charge. How they don't go together, that's me in conformity.
Well, and then people wonder why they're unfulfilled in life. People wonder why they're taken advantage of in life is because you're freaking doing what people want you to do, and you don't necessarily want to, but you feel like those are the only people you can surround yourself with. Ridiculous.
And I don't do it to be rebellious.
No.
I do it according to my belief.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that you have your own point of view and you can do things differently, to get from here to New York. Yeah, we know our end destination, but how we get there is entirely up to our choice, right? Absolutely. Or how we do graphic design or whatever it is. I mean, there is no rules or laws to how we can do things as long as it's within the law, I guess you could say, right?
So, I'll see you there. However you get there, I'll see you there.
Right.
Exactly. Because there's many ways to get to, like, I'm going to Florida from Montana. I can go this way or I can go that way. I'll see you there.
Exactly. Yep. So I'll go with Lynn. You could take this next one, then I'll go, and then Ron, give you a little bit more time. So the phrase is write first, knock later. Write first, knock later. So writing. Write first, knock later.
So this has to do with paying the price of when you have a discussion with somebody. You're better off writing out your feelings when you're in a good place. Say what you got to say and let that be. And then knock later would be to follow up. And so basically it just means that you got to do everything you can to amends whatever part you did or whatever, but also to be a good person and say, look, I did what I could do here. And then the point is, you did what you could do. You could let it go, unconditionally let it go and move on. So write and knock later. That's what that means to me.
So I'm ready, Brian. I'm ready.
Go ahead. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
One thing about this, that's a great analogy you just gave. But for me, what's more important to me, because I really don't get myself involved in the negative drama thing where I got to think about what I'm going to say. I just don't put myself in that position.
Right.
This right first, knock later for me is a positive thing, because if somebody's doing the right thing and doing great things, I literally want to take the time to write first and get everything out I want to say that's positive, that uplifts them and inspires them, and then I'm going to knock later. I'm going to write it all down, what I want to say, so I don't miss anything that pats them on the back, makes them feel blown up, makes them feel better about themselves. Because what I want to do is when I start a conversation, I want to leave that conversation with that person feeling better than they did when we started. Right. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, love it.
So when I take on this, I look at it as be, do, and have versus have, do, and be. Is that, like, let's say we're writing, because I'm writing a book right now. It's like, okay, anything that you do, like, you put in the actions, and then you eventually get the result of some kind. But when you reverse that order, when you expect the result before you actually do the work, it's never going to work.
No.
So I think that if you just nonstop work and you put in the effort, the time, the hours, as you mentioned, Ron, with 10,000 hours in Malcolm Gladwell, is that if you do it without expecting anything, all of a sudden that reward, those opportunities, the opportunity door starts knocking. But you're not expecting anything, so that's why it nurtures you, because you're not expecting anything, and then all of a sudden it's like, whoa. As a result of me doing this regularly every day, working my butt off, writing that book, all of a sudden then it opens up opportunities, because that was not your intention. Your intention was to write a great book. Your intention was to do the work. And then whatever it develops, you're open to. Yeah. And you never have to live with regret, because you've said what you meant to say, and it opened up opportunities.
Absolutely.
I'm Brian, and I'm done.
Damn, we're good. Okay. Woohoo! This is awesome.
This was Ron, you'll go first here if you don't mind. Okay. This one was an actual visual that Lynn showed earlier this week.
I can show it. Which one is it?
It's the apple one, the rotten apple.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to do that.
And so once she pops it up there, okay. So this was the context of this next phrase that we're going to talk about. So the actual phrase, remember, a bad apple has good part. Lynn Serrano. So, Ron, the phrase is no bad apples. No bad apples. Look for the good part. No bad apples. Look for the good part.
So a bad apple to me means one thing. It's decaying from the inside out. That's what's happening. And when we go back to the write first, knock later, it's congruent with the bad apple. The same thing that I said with a positive aspect to it. If a person's down inside, they're hurting inside. You can tell. If you ask the right questions, you can tell. And what you should do, that's a bad apple. They're turning into a bad apple. You need to do exactly everything you can with the writing, the knock first, whatever you can to help that person.
Right.
Help lift that person. It's very simple, guys, in life. We're only here for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
A short amount of time. And it's a lot better to spend your time trying to find people that you can inspire and make them feel better about themselves instead of the drama and trying to fight with somebody.
Yeah.
It's not needed. It's not needed. So a bad apple to me is a person decaying from the inside out, and whatever that is, it can be a lost love, it can be a lost friend, a lost family, whatever it is. Be there for them. Yeah. Change it. That's it.
I love it. Well, the whole bad apple concept for me is what you said, on top of the fact that an apple, you can end up cutting out that bad part and having 3/4 of something that will fulfill that empty spot, because it will be running over and making it whole again. So being there while it's rotten and giving it love and nurturing it and feeding it, you won't see the blemish. That won't even make a difference, because even with congestive heart failure at 4%, which was my mom for 3 years, you can survive if you want to.
Yep.
Okay. So my case in point with the apple is you can definitely stare and focus on the good and allow the rest to ripple into compensating. Just like when you lose a limb or you lose a sense, the other ones become keener. So a lot of people out there that are evil know these things, but all kind people get stuck on that rotten part that they have, and they think they're ruined for the rest, and they're not. They're focusing on the wrong thing. They need to focus at the 3/4 that's still good in them. So I'm Lynn, and I'm done.
So the bad apple to me is the perception of which I'm viewing them, right? Is that to get, but then also though to have there be space in between me and them, right? Is that I'm in check with my perception of them, but I do it without emotion, right? Because obviously the emotion is what really lures you into your view of somebody. So for me to have the space in between that person, to fully examine, but obviously remove the emotion from the part that is bad or that is decaying, right? And to not bring emotion to that, but also to look at look at that person for everything else besides that piece. But the more that I separate the emotion from what is decaying, the less likely I'm going to look at that person as being all-encompassing rotten, you know? So I think that there's separation, but then removing the emotion I have attached, or even looking in further from a standpoint is here's what happened. What did I make it mean? Right? Whatever that occurrence was that made me perceive that person as a bad person, re-examine what that was of like, why did I think that way about them? Right? Because over the course of the time, that'll go away. Your feelings about something will go away. And you can either put it in the memory bank, not say anything that you're going to regret, and just move on from it, and then be cordial to the person. Then if that's as far as it's going to go, so be it. I'd rather have it be cordial and where I'm in touch with my own discipline than to say something I'm going to regret and make a scene.
And Brian, that's still the high road. That's still the high road.
Absolutely. And the bottom is you got to love people when they don't want to love you back, but you don't need to sit there and be beaten for it. And with all that said, you know, we have this thing where we think because somebody said something or did something that we should hold that against them all the time.
Right.
And we want to be forgiven when we do it. So that means in return, we need to forgive them as well. And it's not just a one-day revolve thing. You know, it's the, okay, can we be adults here and realize the situation for what it is and just let it go? Okay, we learned from that. Let's go on. Because truly, if you love somebody, that's what you do.
Yep.
If you sincerely didn't love the relationship enough.
You learn how to forgive and not expect anything back.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. When you forgive, you do it for yourself. You don't do it for them.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, let's get some funny shit going on here. It's getting
okay.
We're in a serious mode.
Oh, okay. Well, we got quite a few, so we got to speed it up here. Okay, so Lynn, the word Lynnism, brainy brain.
A brainy brain.
It's when your brain is so brainy that you got an extra brain. Like you're using your other brain. You're using your other brain. Like, you know, guys got a couple other brains. Like, I won't leave that alone. But
sure, you just had to dangle that carrot right there. But I'm going to take the carrot away.
When one head's thinking, the other one's not. So that's a brain. That's a brain. We'll just leave it at that. Brainy brain. I'm going to stop.
Okay, so here's what I think of when you say brainy brain. I go back to SpongeBob SquarePants, that green guy, and you can see the brain all inside there. That's what I think of. So that's me.
Okay, Brian.
So brainy brain to me is when you think of words that you don't even know the definition of, but it's all cool. And when you shit, somebody looks at you funny. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, you're impressed that you knew that word, let alone even pronounce it, but you have no idea what it means.
Exactly. Or a brainy brain is somebody that tries to answer every question that you have intelligently, and it's not a great definition. It's not the meaning of it. They believe it is. They got it. You know, that's a brainy brain.
Either that or somebody that comes in to solve a problem, and then when they try to solve the problem, they don't want to admit that they couldn't solve the problem.
You sound like you had an accent there, but we'll let it go. We got to hurry. What's next?
Okay, so Ron, the next phrase is be the example. Be the example.
Just look around you. Figure out who you want to be. But be yourself. Be yourself. Just be the example. Lead. We need more leaders. It's simple. I mean, being the example is an easy thing to do. Look around at what you don't want to be. Just make sure you're not that person. That's it. Lead by example is a very simple thing.
Amen. I couldn't have said it better. I'm going to pass. He wrapped it up, and we got some more to go. So go. That was great, Ron. He spoke for me on that one.
So be the example defines my one word. Thanks to Lynn this year, one word for this whole entire year is disruption. And it's like everything that I know to be, how I think, what I do, how I serve my customers, all of it is on the chopping block for what it can be, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not concerned about what my industry does. I'm not concerned about trends. I only care about what's up here, what's in here, and how far I can take what I can do for other people. The customer experience, my thoughts, all of it. Okay. Okay, Lynn. Lynn. So if it doesn't fit, you should quit. Yeah,
I was trying to say something like things that people. I was talking talking about people if you don't jive or if it doesn't mesh well. And I was like, well, if it doesn't fit, you have to quit. And that's where I got the whole fitting and a quitting thing, Ron. Really, that's where I was thinking. But seriously.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
But seriously, all I'm saying is that, you know, you can telepathically, you can energy wise be compatible with somebody, and that's it. Like when we were in Vegas, I didn't get to spend physical time with Ron, but Ron and I were good because we're like, you know what, we're going to be friends after Vegas here. So I love you. I hugged him every chance I got, but we didn't get to talk there. We've done more talking on the phone, but we already knew that we are at a level that no one can touch. And so that's, you know, if I don't connect with people in that level anymore, it just doesn't, you got to quit it because it don't fit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Brian, I thought you were going to say if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. That's what I thought you were going to say.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I said yesterday.
So
that works too. That works too.
Here's my take on it. It's pretty simple. If it just doesn't fit, you don't do it. I mean, don't try to force people to do something that doesn't fit them. Don't push that on them, because I'll give you something. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. You won't stop it. You might convince them to do something that doesn't fit, but their opinion still remains the same, and it's a short-lived relationship. Just the way it is.
Absolutely.
So with this phrase is that if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Duct tape it. Duct tape it. That's awesome, Larry.
Round hole, square peg.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So when I look at this as like trying to force a project when you know that you don't have enough time to do it. But you force it and it's going to be a struggle. It's not going to be your best work, but I got it done, instead of carving out the space that's needed, doing it the right way and being done with it versus having to make changes and all that.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, Lynn or Ron, mentally pay the price. Mentally pay the price.
Okay. I have to give it a second for it to hit me.
Mentally, yeah, I get it.
Mentally paying the price. Some people might look at this as mentally paying the price of yourself, doing what you need to do to mentally pay the price. That's not what hits me. What hits me is mentally paying the price of people coming to you with cockamamie ideas or things you don't even want to listen to, and you're mentally paying the price, and you're putting in effort and time you'll never get back, and I'm mentally paying the price on something that means nothing to me. Nothing. Yeah. For me, that's mentally paying the price. Not that I'm being rude or I'm being, crazy or nothing. It's just things that just affect me. And I try my best to not mentally pay the price. Right. I try my absolute best for that not to happen to me.
All right, I'll go next. Thank you, Ron. Is mentally pay the price that the best analogy I can give is a house that you want to build, right? Is that when you put down the forms and you lay the concrete, that's the mental part of it. Is that if you're not mentally ready for anything you're up to in life, the physical, the spiritual doesn't really matter, right? Mm-hmm. If this is not good up here through proper rest and giving yourself the time that you need, you're not going to be able to put a third-story house on a foundation that's not even poured yet. So mentally, that is the foundation for everything you're going to do in life.
Agreed.
Mentally priced to me is when you get involved in something to start with, and your intuition tells you right away it's not a good thing. You're gonna, and you don't listen to your intuition, and you stay there, and you realize that you are mentally paying the price for the long haul because you decided to go the detour instead of going where you want to go. So I'm Lynn, and I'm done because I know we got to get a couple more in here.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one in the best Long Island style accent is flaw. Flaw.
Flaw. It's flaw.
Can you spell that for me, please?
Yeah, F-L-A-W. Flaw.
F-L-A-W. Flaw. Just look in the mirror. That's it. I'm Ron and I'm done. Just look in the mirror.
Okay. Flaws don't have to be the end all be all. Flaws can be a place to grow in the cracks. Flaws can be things that when you see them in other people that you can see in yourself, that's the mirror that you're talking about, you can reflect and say, do I want to keep this flaw, or I want to forget it, forgive it, and go on. Flaw. Go ahead, Brian.
When you can acknowledge that you're perfectly imperfect, that we all have stuff, we're all a hot mess, we all have lives that are, we're dealing with stuff. The more that you can say that vulnerably and just openly, the more you're going to connect with me, right? We all have stuff going on. The less you hide it, I guess, or cover it up, and the more that it's exposed, like, hey, I got stuff just like everybody. The more that you can be like that person, somebody I want to hang out with because it's real and it's authentic.
I'm sorry, but you get compassion when people share their vulnerability with you. You get compassion, and for a minute, that's where you connect on a level to be able to say, I can understand that. And not just for excuses, but just to say where you're coming from. And that really helps a relationship grow. Yep. So anyways, go ahead.
And you're willing to understand that person. You're willing to meet them to understand from their side of the fence of where they are and what that looks like.
Right. Okay. What'd you say, Ron?
Biggest flaw in the world right here.
Yeah.
Oh, you. 1, 2, 3. Me,
yep.
me. Biggest flaw in the world.
Yep.
Okay, absolutely. Ron, this one right here is a weekly favorite. So we'll let you answer first. Is wet wood. Wet wood.
And why would that be a weekly favorite? That's my question immediately. But
because Lynn, it has staying power for some reason. So
I mean, there used to be a guy from stage that would say something like, "If that don't, I don't know, something about your wood's wet. I don't know, something like that." But wet wood. You're just not strong enough.
Okay, so I'll get him off the hook because we only have a few minutes here. Wetwood represents this. I just envision the fact that when you've been beaten down so much, or your flicker in life is just so dim, and you start building your tribe, you get the kindling spirit of those that ignite you, that support you, that help you get your light back. So as you're roaring to go to that next level, instead of seeing great wood to make you bigger, get rid of the freaking wet wood that keeps your ass down. So that's why. So no more wet wood is what I say.
Yeah, because you can't ignite wet wood. You cannot get a fire out of wet wood. I'll tell you.
Amen. That. Yep. No wet wood allowed.
Wet wood allowed. We got Wile E. Coyote all of a sudden made a guest appearance. Wet wood allowed. Wet wood allowed.
We're running out of time. Go ahead.
Okay, the last one is, Lynn, Sweet Peckers. Sweet Peckers, the Blimpie sub-story.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Ron, I used to have a lingerie business and adult toys and novelties, and on a Sunday I would do my paperwork. Told my kids we'd go to Blimpies if I could get my paperwork done. And I was running really late with my paperwork. I finally take them over to the deli at Blimpies, and I go, "Can I get lettuce, tomatoes, and can I get some sweet peckers?" And my kids are like, "Mom!" And the lady looked at me. And so, my daughter was in the room the other day, and she brought it up. So, so sweet peckers. That's what I actually said, sweet peckers instead of sweet peppers.
That was a Freudism in your life.
Yes. Yeah. But I went just peckers, and I was like, looked right at my daughter. Yeah. Anyways,
I have nothing on that, Brian. I have nothing.
Wow.
Here we go.
Sweet peckers and what a snatching evening.
I'm kind of wondering where we're going here. So I was thinking the same thing, Charles. I'm going, we just went PG. Sweet peckers and wetwood.
God.
I saved the two best ones for last, I guess, maybe.
Okay, good.
Okay. So sweet peckers to me is where we take sweet tarts and we blend them with Woody Woodpecker.
Okay.
I don't know, but like sweet tarts, but in the shape of Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah, I get it. It
was actually a new dish coming out, like sugar-coated chicken lips or something,
Sugar-coated chicken lips.
Ron, you were absolutely amazing today. You know, I
Thank
think
you,
things
Ron.
happen for a reason. I'm glad that Brian got to meet one of my dear friends and vice versa. You know, it's just, I'm going to let Brian, what did you think about meeting Ron this way? What did you think?
Ron, we're kindred spirits. I'm
Absolutely.
so glad that you're able to be with us today. I'm going to reach out to you on Facebook, you know, be your friend and all of that. But kindred spirits. I mean, for several reasons I shared back, but you're just still authentic, straight up, no BS.
Yeah.
My people. So thank
I
you
have
for
one
taking the
question
time out of your
before I
day for
go.
being here.
I got
Yes.
one question. Somebody tell me the difference between a winism and a Lynnism. What's the difference?
A Lynnism and a what?
A winism and a Lynnism. What's the difference? You guys, you were saying you have winisms to talk about, and then you have Lynnisms to talk about.
I don't remember.
No.
Yeah. Well, Winism, Lynn is going to win anyway. So there you go. Winism. Winism, I guess. There you go. A new word. Scott, thank you for being here. No, seriously, you guys, this has just been, I mean, two of my best buddies right here. You know, and I'm just,
Ron, I want to acknowledge you for taking the time on your Friday to be with us on short notice, and truly grateful you're able to have some fun with us today.
Absolutely my pleasure. Great to meet you, Brian. We will be friends in the future. There's no doubt about that. Lynn, love you. Have a fantastic weekend. God bless each and every one of you.
Yes, and don't go anywhere yet. Okay, everyone, we are leaving.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Everybody, thank you so much for participating with us and being here. We love you so much. Have a great weekend, and we look forward to Larry next week. Larry,
see you on Monday.
Okay? I say it, Larry. That's how I say it. Larry. Okay, bye.